Hello, this is Jack from Teaching ESL Online, and today I have Andrea Giordano from eslbasics.com. And she's going to tell us about her story, talk about her online teaching and online platforms, and then share a really exciting course that she's about to launch. So, Andrea, welcome to Teaching ESL Online.
Hey, thanks, Jack. I'm glad we connected.
Yeah, me too. So, firstly, can you just give an introduction to your teaching and talk about how you got started online?
Sure. So I started teaching ESL in person at a university in 2006 when I was working on my master's in TESOL and really loved it. And then it's a really strange kind of happening that took place, but I was on vacation with my family and we were binge watching Next Food Network Star. I don't know if you've heard of it. Do you know that show
Nope,
at all? So
never seen it.
it's a reality program where potential chefs want to go and have their own like show on the Food Network. And so they're always trying things on camera and they're trying to, explain recipes while they're watching, teaching online basically, how they do the recipes. So anyway, we were binge watching this in Colorado on vacation and I was watching them and I'm the worst cook in the world. But as I was watching them, I kept thinking, I can do what they're doing. Like I can explain something on camera. I don't know how to cook, but I can do what they're doing. And my brother, who's an email marketer, was with me and he just started bouncing ideas off of me. And he's like, Andrea, I know you could do something like this. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, I could teach English online. And that's really where it came from. That one little, watching TV can be good for you, evidently. But so anyway, I started teaching online and we shot about several hundred videos in the first year or two or three and continually have just put content out on the internet and on YouTube on our site and developed books. And now we're, of course, expanding to the spokenlife.com.
Great. So there's quite a lot going on there. And we'll try and dig into the different aspects of this.
Sure.
But when you first got started, were you a little bit nervous about being on camera, or did that come naturally to you?
Well, I mean, I feel fairly comfortable on camera, but it's more of just a major learning curve as far as trying to get longer form videos going. If you make a mistake sometimes along the way, you have to start all the way over. And that was a challenge. It was really about more of the challenge was finding my voice, what I really wanted to say, and what I really wanted, who my audience was, and how I wanted to connect with them.
Sure. And how did you find that out? Did like your teaching niche or the way you presented yourself, did that change over time? Because you started this in 2008, right?
Yeah, 2008. So yeah, at first we were just putting vocabulary words out there. I have many videos out there that are 15 or 20 seconds long, just explaining one word in context, so that people aren't just reading definition, but they have an idea of how that word connects to language. So we started with those, and now I lost your question. What was your question again?
Whether your voice changed or like the way you presented the videos and the content that you put out there.
Sure. Yeah, I think I have become more comfortable on video over time, not on this video evidently, but but yeah, over time. And so it did adapt to where they became longer form and I felt just more confident as a teacher myself. Time in the classroom really trained me to be able to know when I'm talking about a little bit more than I did when I first started. And so, yeah, now they're longer form and I feel like I have more specific advice to give to people than when I first started out.
Great. And you mentioned your brother is an email marketer. Now,
Mhm.
did you implement that into your teaching website from day one, or did that come later down the line?
No, that's one of the biggest mistakes we made early on. We were relying a lot on social media as opposed to email marketing. But about, I want to say 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we decided to really hit the email marketing and set up autoresponders when people first sign up, and then also really step up our email game where I respond to every single person who writes me. And that has been a real game changer for us. We've seen probably a 50% increase in our audience on our website. And also, I'm just so big about being authentic and true to people and connecting with people authentically. And so, I've really stepped up that game too, where I've connected with people online and we have people who really love us now. And I feel like email marketing was a big piece in that pie.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I always recommend. Regular readers of my blog will know that email marketing can be so powerful, for connecting with your audience, making sales further down the line, and just generally building momentum with your brand.
Hmm.
Now, just to go back to YouTube, this was your first platform when you started putting videos out there, right?
Right. Yeah. That was our first platform. We've had an up and down with YouTube. I love YouTube because it casts a really wide net for us. But about 4 or 5 years ago, they cut off our advertising for no specific reason. It's, they have those safety nets in place where they don't want people clicking on advertising if they're not there to actually genuinely look at the product. Well, we didn't do any kind of false clicks, but somehow Google shut, or yeah, it was Google at the time when it changed over, shut us down. And that was a real wake up call for us, not to rely on YouTube alone for our income, but to look to other sources. And that's really when we stepped up our email marketing game and a few other things. So, but I do love YouTube. I love connecting with so many people through that.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's a huge platform. And
Yeah.
how do you manage all the comments that you get on the videos? Is it something that you do daily, or do you hire someone else to do this for you?
No, it's all me. I do every bit of social media. So I just have it on my phone, and when I see something pop up, I respond to it.
Great.
Yeah.
And then just moving on now, what kind of products and courses do you sell on your website?
So on ESL Basics, we have a link to Selz, which I know you're into, SELZ, but they manage all of our payment process and stuff. But we sell a few different ebooks, including one on business idioms. And then my main book is 21 Ways to Jumpstart Your English Skills. And that one's on there as well. And then we also sell towards one of our niches is through citizenship training, and we sell our audio packs there to help people have repeat after me kind of way to practice for the citizenship test.
Great. Just talking about that citizenship test, how did you get into that niche?
Yeah, so on a whim, one weekend, my brother, my business partner, said, "Hey, did you know there's 100 questions to the citizenship test? And it seems like you could really just nail those in one weekend. We could shoot all those 100, and you could have those out there for people to have and just listen to, and we can just see what that market's like." And so we're like, "Okay, let's do it." And so we did. It was kind of a happy accident we fell into. I recorded all 100 questions with the answers and explanations, and then also recorded separate pronunciation practice videos that have 10 questions at a time where you're just practicing your pronunciation. And so yeah, we got into that, and then we realized people really had a desire for more of that because those are our best performing videos on YouTube. So we created downloadable resources, like I talked about, both audio and video, that help people really repeat after me because there's nothing exactly like that on the official US Gov website.
Sure, it's such an interesting niche, and something that I thought about when I first saw it is that it's so tangible that
Yeah.
when a learner goes through the course, takes the course, and then passes this test,
Mhm.
then there's something at the end that everyone can celebrate.
Exactly. And those are the comments I get the most. They're so incredibly touching to me that people write back when they're finished. And if they've used my videos the whole time to practice, they come back and they say thank you. They tell me that they've passed their test and they're so excited about it. And yeah, it's so tangible. It's not just the generic, I'm learning English, but it's, I passed my US citizenship test and I practiced with your videos. And it's a huge honor for me.
Great. Now going back to sales, why did you use sales to sell the products on your site?
So I probably don't know the answer to that. My brother is the one who makes those kind of technical decisions, but he, we really like the way, first of all, I do know this, that they responded back to us. A lot of different platforms, if you reach out to them, it takes a little bit for them to get back with you. Well, sales has always been has really great customer service. So they've been in touch with us, but I know just the platform worked for what my brother was looking for.
Yeah. You mentioned, that I like the platform sells. There's also Gumroad, which is very similar.
We use them as well. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because both platforms, they're so simple to set up and they look so good on your website. The visitor doesn't have to leave the page like they do with PayPal. It's just all done on your website, and it's simple in every process, every step of the process.
Yeah, we've really found that too. Both of them have been really good for us, and we get different clients, I guess, who come through each of those. Sometimes because they're also housed on those websites as well, in Sales and Gumroad, and we found some sales have come through their actual websites.
Oh, really interesting. Let's talk a little bit about social media now, because you mentioned that your brother handles email marketing, you handle the social media. So what kind of things do you do on a daily basis, and which platforms do you like using?
Yeah, so I've used lots of different ones over time, but I really love Twitter as far as personal engagement goes. I know it's so overwhelming sometimes to have so much in your feed, or you're just one of a million in someone's feed. But I use it kind of as a way to address people personally. And I'm not sure where I read this first, but they talk about Twitter being like a big party, and you can be at the big party, but it takes you going up to someone and introducing yourself for them to really notice that you're there at the party. So that's what I kind of try to take it as. I personally, just reach out to people, or I'll even, this is one tip that I love doing is in the search bar, I'll look for just the phrase learning English or studying for TOEFL or something like that. And if I find somebody who's posted about that in the last week, I'll just reach out to them and connect with them somehow, not in a weird way trying to sell my product initially, but trying to reach out and just make some kind of connection with them. And so I've seen a lot of good come out of that.
Great. That's a quite intensive way to do it. It's like on a one-on-one basis, you're contacting people individually, but over time it makes such a difference. And I think, we can tie this together a little bit by, because what you said before about sales, they actually contacted you and they actually got back to you and you had a communication going. It's the same for English learners. If a teacher goes out and reaches them and they respond to comments and they are actually interested and respond on a personal level, then it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, that's completely how I feel. Like, I'm so much about caring. Like, I mean, I obviously want to make money just like the rest of us do online teaching. But number one, I care about ESL students. I care about their English language journey. And if I didn't care so much, I wouldn't have been doing this for so long. And, I just love it so much.
That's great. Fantastic. Let's talk about your new course now. So can you explain what this is going to be?
Sure, yeah. So it's thespokenlife.com, and this is all for helping people gain confidence in speaking English. So one of the things I think actually, I read an article that you had written maybe about just even narrowing down your niche more. Was that you who wrote? Probably. I think you've talked about it some.
Yeah, it might have been. I've wrote a lot of posts on niches and made videos about them too.
Yeah, so I actually was really inspired by that, and we talked some about, what do we really want to kind of narrow down into in this vast field of language learners? And the thing that I really get excited about is enabling people to be confident when they're speaking English. And so we have this in thespokenlife.com. We have set up courses with long form videos. So they're 5, 6, 7, 8-minute lessons, and they narrow down on some specific part of speaking English. And we're going to have one new lesson come out every week, but also all those courses are still there online that you can access anytime. And then the students also have the availability to join a Facebook group, a private Facebook group that we're forming, and then have the opportunity to meet with me face-to-face through webinars.
Great. Really exciting. And when does this launch?
So this launches 1 week from Thursday. So June 11th, we're launching.
Great. Fantastic. So I'd love to hear, in the future about your progress and to see how all of this went.
Yeah, sure.
And if a teacher wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, best way is to email me, Andrea@eslbasics.com, or you can hit me on Twitter, ESLBasics.
Great. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing, your tips about online marketing and having a teaching website. And I'll speak to you soon.
Cool. Thanks so much, Jack. I really am super inspired by your marketing efforts, and I learned so much from all your posts. So thanks for what you do too.
Great. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.